but he keeps stepping on this, talking about, Arnold Palmer's privates and, saying, 39 minutes of dance music.
Infamous Republican strategist and Fox News contributor Karl Rove went on Fox News to basically publicly plead with Donald Trump to stay disciplined and on message as the election rapidly approaches. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, those of you who do not remember, do not know, Karl Rove was basically, I don't know if he was Darth Vader during the Bush administration, because that was kind of Dick Cheney. At least that was the association. I would say Dick Cheney was more of the Emperor Palpatine because he was the puppet master. But Karl Rove was also, memed and spoofed as a satanic figure because he was very intelligent. He's well known for his whiteboards and, his data-driven approach. Very competent guy. He's been a Fox News contributor for years. And he's an unapologetic conservative and a Republican. He wants Trump to win, but you can tell he's exasperated by Trump. He doesn't really like Trump all that much personally. He probably thinks Trump is an idiot. And so he went on Fox News to once again effectively plead with Trump, dude, could you just stop talking about people's genitalia and dancing awkwardly? Because otherwise you're going to lose this election.
Donald Trump, what he's doing at these rallies is he gets to this point where he gets like a minute and a half where he says, this is what I'm going to do. And everything he says is a headline on a policy that he would support. Here's an example from last night, Duluth, Georgia. Check it out.
We're going to close the borders first day, first hour, first minute. We're going to close our borders. We're going to take the criminals immediately. We will deport the criminals. We're going to get them out fast. We're going to get them out fast. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to get our energy prices down. We're going to get our country back in order. And I think we're going to have, Bert, I think we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
When you were doing campaigns, both of you gentlemen, how important was it to make a succinct closing argument?
Very important, and obviously the emphasis on being optimistic is important, but he keeps stepping on this, talking about, Arnold Palmer's privates and, saying, 39 minutes of dance music. This is the most disciplined campaign his staff has run, but he remains undisciplined, and in the next 12 days, you need to have him saying that kind of thing with a little bit more depth and substance to it, and less on the sort of the riffing that has caused people to, if he says something sort of wild, the media is going to cover the wild thing rather than the substantive thing, and the substantive thing is what's going to sell the voters.
Yeah, so again, that's Karl Rove's way of sounding the alarm and begging. I'm like, oh my God, shut up about about Arnold Palmer's genitalia and dancing. For the love of God, stop doing it. But Donald Trump is Donald Trump, and Donald Trump doesn't like to be told what to do, and I expect that that's not going to change. And on the subject of the 2024 election, listen, this weekend I'm flying to Las Vegas to canvass with Destiny, liberal streamer Destiny, and his community, get out the vote to try to, not just help win Nevada, but also the election as well, because it's a competitive swing state, and it's one that we can't afford to lose. The reason that I'm doing that is because this election is close. I mean, I've canvassed in previous elections as well, but my confidence in the outcome has been, just between us, reduced somewhat. And there are multiple factors for that. It's just also I'm naturally predisposed to be a cynic. However, I want to be clear. This is a winnable election. And all else being equal, I would say that Vice President Harris still enjoys some advantages. Simon Rosenberg is somebody I've talked about before. Simon Rosenberg is a former Clinton operative. He is one of the few pollsters and commentators who predicted that there would be no red wave. And so just a couple of things to remember from his Hopium Chronicles to give us with the hope and the confidence that we need, but not complacency, not complacency. So this is from Simon Rosenberg. My latest 2024 election top lines. Non-red wave national and state polling has been remarkably consistent and steady since the debate. The VP leads by 2, 3 to 4 points nationally, and we're closer to 270, which is the electoral votes we need. You need a minimum of 270 to win the presidency. We're closer to 270 than Trump. Her favorability, unfavorabilities are far better than Trump's, which can matter for late late breaking voters. She's also closed the gap in the economy with Trump, a huge achievement. A flood of red wave polls in recent weeks, over 80 polls, 31 different organizations, have tipped some of the averages, but do not be fooled. The race favors us and is not slipping away. And I should say, David Plouffe, who is the campaign manager for Vice President Harris, he was President Obama's campaign manager for his 2 successful elections. He has also confirmed that based on their internal data, they are not seeing momentum for Trump. He says it's close, it's effectively a tie, but they're not seeing momentum away from them. Okay, this is a competitive election, it's basically a coin flip. With our ground and financial advantage, we should be able to reach more voters and close stronger than the Republicans in the final 2 weeks. Why we have to keep working it. The organized opposition to Trump from prominent Republican leaders in the home stretch is also going to matter. We continue to have good days in the battleground states' early votes. My own assessment is that we should be encouraged by Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, and Wisconsin, and are competitive everywhere else. It's trench warfare, folks, and we just have to keep fighting. Since Dobbs, we have been the party overperforming the polls, not Republicans. Trump and Republicans, like their fascist allies in Europe and France this summer, have underperformed public polls repeatedly in this and the last election cycle. Will it be different this time? I wouldn't bet on it. The Senate remains a brawl, and there's a great deal of optimism about what we're seeing in the House races. The VP is heading to Houston on Friday for a big speech on abortion rights and reproductive freedom and to support Colin Allred, who's made it a race on Texas, and Beyonce is going to show up. So there's that. Our candidate isn't unraveling on camera, every day and ducking challenging interviews and debates. Our candidate isn't a rapist, fraudster, traitor, and 34 times felon, the oldest person to be the nominee of an American political party and the most dangerous political leader in all of our history. Our candidate, the Vice President of the United States, is strong, winning, optimistic, committed to opportunity and freedom, is for the people, and is working unbelievably hard to win this election for all of us. So there's your dose of optimism, of hopium from Simon Rosenberg, professional political operative. Make sure you have a plan to vote. Make sure you are registered to vote. Many states offer same-day registration, so if you're not, it's probably not too late. Get out and vote. Spread the word to others as well. And if you have the ability, knock on doors. Go to Pod Save America and other locations, progress.win, Vegas. Is also, it's a link that you may want to check out if you are in or near Las Vegas, Nevada. Again, this weekend, it was kind of an impromptu decision. I'm going to go out there and canvass. There's still time to win this thing. And if we turn up and if we turn out, we will win. Food for thought. And apparently, Karl Rove from Fox News feels likewise because he's desperate for Trump to stay on message and stay disciplined. He clearly thinks that will make or break the outcome. And given how notoriously undisciplined Trump is, I wouldn't bet on that either. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.